Hey everybody, welcome back to another recap of Life After Lockup here with Jade and XD. I don't have much to say about this episode. Let's just get into it and see what comes up. Where do you want to start?
Let's go with Mice Jones and Monique.
Okay. Not much happened in this episode. Now I'm looking at my notes. So he made it to Chicago.
All these little men on this show just be fussing.
Yeah, he got her all the flowers and all that, and she's like, oh my god, he brought me flowers, but I still don't trust this nigga, but it's cool or whatever, which rightfully so. He gets in the car and he's fussing. Like, I just fussing, but he's like, I'm trying to apologize, ain't no more, it's just me and you. All the while his phone is blowing up and he keeps ignoring the calls, which leads her to believe that there's other women in his life. Lying,
saying he's sending emails. Who the fuck you emailing?
I mean, maybe all these booking appearances, they on tour and stuff. Maybe he has a rap career we don't know about.
No.
Yeah. No. So they pull up to her crib. She's moved. She's got a new house. I was confused of why her home was set up that way. And I'm like, did she move back in with her parents? Because it seemed like that was a parental type of home. But it could have just been hers, and I don't know. Or it was just an Airbnb because they don't want to film in real people's houses.
It's not even an Airbnb because it didn't have enough furniture. I don't know what it was, but let's just say for all intents and purposes that, like she said, she moved. And so she's got minimal things at this point.
Right. So, he has a ring for her and he has an idea to go hide it because he knows that she goes through his stuff.
Oh, is that what he was hiding? I thought he was hiding his phone.
No, he was hiding the ring.
Oh, I was also extremely tired watching. But yes, and he has to climb up on the counter like a 3-year-old looking for cookies. And he puts it way back in a coffee mug on a shelf way high.
Right. Place that he can't reach, but she probably can. So he's pouring down bottles of wine, and I say bottles of wine because he literally poured like a whole bottle in her glass.
I said, this Ina Garten ass glass of wine.
Yeah, it was so big.
It was huge.
And she doesn't know how to lie either because he's like, come downstairs, and she's like, I'm washing my face, and she's just going through his stuff. No water, nothing was going on. Anywho, he comes back upstairs to where she is, and like I said, he's done damn near poured her a whole bottle. And she continues to ride him about the cheating shit or whatever. And they continue to argue, and that was them.
She looked up all these numbers some kind of way and was like, you need to show me who it is in your phone and how are they saved. And he claims he don't know where his phone is and he ain't doing it. They fight. She tells him he can sleep in the basement and then he can go ahead and get himself on home tomorrow because she's done and we know that she's not.
Exactly. And that was them.
Yeah.
Who's next?
There wasn't a lot going on this episode. Let's do Lindsay and Blaine. Ernest goes to prison or paintball. Ernest goes to paintball.
Ernest goes to the deacon board. And Miley Grace is Daria. I low-key felt bad for Lindsay. Because actually, Lindsay, I didn't feel bad for. I felt bad for her mama.
Yeah. And I continue to.
Yeah. So, she needs to go pick up Miley Grace, because they needed some mommy-daughter time, because Miley Grace is 13, and we all know what that gives.
Yep.
They all 13 at war.
Oh, God.
So, good luck, friend.
Oh, I was watching this episode. I was like, as much as we are not their household, I also was like, I am not ready for these hormones and this angst.
Right, and it's just raising a teen regardless. It doesn't have to be as extreme as this, but just any teen just goes through that type of change and wanted to challenge authority and whatever it means to them. And
now I'm gonna say this though. All right, so I'll get to it. We'll get to it. She's 14 months sober. She's working at a clinic, so she feels fulfilled in what she's doing. She works overnight, 11 to 7.
Good for her.
Miley Grace is just as dramatic as she is. And they had to get a temporary rental house because the trailer that they purchased and are renovating, that's a very confusing sentence for me. But the trailer they purchased and are renovating is not yet ready. So they had to get a HUD house. Ernest gets a HUD house, so
Ernest gets an efficiency.
and none of them love it. Like, they both all like, yeah, it's shelter. And then so when they get there, Lindsay tells Miley Grace, it ain't nothing special, all right? Miley Grace is like, you need to hurry the fuck up because I'm trying to move in with you. Like, this is stupid. He's taking a fake nap when they get back. They walk in. Miley Grace is like, God damn, it stinks in here.
She had Maya Wilkes. Oh,
hell no. Lindsay is irritated because of this fake nap and blames recent laziness since she's been working. People who get new things get self-righteous. So it's like, I got a job. All of a sudden, everything the same person was doing, they was doing before ain't good enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, he is on house arrest.
What can he do?
He can fix up y'all's trailer and take naps. Like,
and the only reason why he took a nap was because he had to sit so he could charge his house arrest bracelet. What else is he gonna do? Just
that foot hanging off that bed.
Yeah, so he couldn't do anything else but take a nap.
No, but he did make a plan for them to go out later and play paintball. So. All of this was very confusing the way that it was happening because it was like she's irritated and then they go play paintball, but whatever. They get to paintball, they get suited up, they get ready to go, and Miley Grace has a breakdown. I don't want to do this. I give up. I don't feel like getting shot today. I mean, mood.
Yeah, because my thing is, it is a choice in this day and age to take a teenager out that involves anything with guns and shooting.
I thought about that in the sense where how this just ain't, and I thought that's where they were about to go. I was like, maybe it's traumatic for her because of the state of the world. And I was like, then they live in Mississippi. I don't know. But I also thought to myself, outside of just, okay, hold on, let's keep going. We'll get it. Then we can talk about the ins and outs. So she doesn't want to play. They still end up playing. They go check on her. She got an attitude. They go drop her off at home at her grandma's house, and they have to hurry up and scoot back to the house because he's about to start turning into a pumpkin because of his ankle monitor. She calls her mother while they're in the car. What's up with Miley Grace? She's like, girl, I don't know. Her mother is unhelpful and dry, but also tired. She's been raising this child her entire life. And so, they don't know what's what. They just all think it's angst. As I was watching it, I'm like, the girl was really adamant about the fact that she wanted to come live with you all. Things are not going in the time frame that you said they were going to go. She's already been shuffled about. She's been with her grandmother basically her whole life. She came and lived with you temporarily with this nigga with 3 lips. And that didn't work out. She saw you in multiple unstable relationships. You can't get yourself together. You're now 14 months sober, and now you're getting yourself together. But the girl has gone through her whole very short 13 years with you being a pendulum and swinging from hither to thither. And so her angst may be additional teenage angst off the strength that she has not had the stability of her mother in her life in a way that she wants for all this time.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this is one of those moments where I'm like, oh, this isn't scripted. Like, this is a real moment of somebody who has been formerly incarcerated and the shit that you have to deal with afterwards. You know, like when I think of Baby Nuck and even his eldest daughter, the one that I was born right after he went to, or right before he went to prison for 20 years.
Or she was like 4, something just young.
Yeah, just young, and just having to navigate relearning a parent and have them re-enter your life and what that even means, because you a lot of people attach their self-worth to their parents, and how they were raised and stuff. So my heart goes out to Miley Grace. I wrote that she was being a cunt, but most teenagers are cunts.
No, so, they are. Like naturally.
Naturally. It wasn't had nothing to do with her. It's just more of like, damn.
Also, though, I didn't feel as bad for Lindsay as she felt for herself, because, you know, she's like, I don't like 13, but not once did you stop and acknowledge that maybe some of this could be additional baggage from what you've caused in her life. And you've acknowledged it before. I'm not saying she doesn't, but she didn't in this moment, and I thought it was something to consider.
Yeah. And shit, I'm sure she will, and because Lindsay, she's fucked up in the head about men, but you can see that she's
stopped at the head.
Yeah, but there are moments where she's not all the way a horrible human being.
No, it's true.
You
like, she's got some sense about herself.
Yeah. There's just,
she's dramatic.
some things. Yes, they're dramatic. She just needs to calm down. She gets really anxious about things, and I get that. But if she works on that, she might be all right. And shout out to her for peer advocacy and peer clinical type of stuff when it comes to recovery. When I was working in social work, I learned that peer advocacy and peer niggas who went through the same shit that you try to go through and get out of is definitely helpful when you have the same connection. You know what I mean? Like, I've been through it, so you can too.
Absolutely.
So shout out to her on that tip.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Yeah,
recap.
They get into a fight.
For them.
She gets anxious and frustrated and starts punching the garage, and I don't know.
Yeah, but that was them. Let's talk Taylor and Chance. I don't have many notes from them, but most of my notes says, I fucking hate him. He's a fucking liar. I hate him.
So he hasn't told her he lost his job yet. He's still lying because he's a pathological liar. He says he feels like he's turned into a liar. You've always been a liar. The girl called you on being a liar about stupid shit. You've been lying since we've ever known you. She confronts him about tracking him at his friend's bar. He gaslights per usual. She goes through his phone. She finds a bitch named Tanya who's supposed to be his platonic friend. They get into it because he gaslights her some more. They get into a big fight, and then they decide to cool down and go into Bobby's old shed and talk.
Her old bomb shelter?
Yeah. Her fucking annex. So, So, he gaslights some more and tells her that he talks to these platonic women friends because he can't talk to her. She then breaks down because she's like, I'm tired of you blaming me for every single argument that we have. It always turns into some way that I am not doing something or falling inadequate, and why it justifies your actions. He gaslights her some more. And then he gaslights her into saying that she does not need to be with him because she is not happy. And I hate him so fucking much. Like, he is just useless and worthless and nasty and undeserving of good.
Yeah. I like have a visceral reaction every time he gets on the camera, so I just fast forward their parts, and
No,
so I'll
that's
just
fair.
rely on YouTube.
Yeah, that's fine. I breeze through them. I have, but I hate him. Like if for whatever god awful reason you want more Jade and XD, make sure you subscribe to us on Patreon.